Can you guys name me what are the popular technologies nowadays? Like, what are the applications we have? Where and all we use software programming languages like Java or C, C++. In which applications we use? What and all domains we have? Any idea? Can you please share? I want this to be interactive session so that it will be good for you and me. Yes, please.
Yeah, web applications technology,
Yeah. So let me note down web applications. Mhm. Any other?
frameworks,
Yeah,
frameworks.
frame. Yeah. So it comes here actually. Web application frameworks. Yeah, it comes here. Okay. Hmm.
Database systems,
DB systems.
operating systems,
OS.
spreadsheets,
Spreadsheets. I think it will come here itself, right? DB.
graphic packages,
Sorry.
graphic packages,
Yeah, graphics. Hmm.
APIs.
APIs. Yeah. Here in Python we use REST and of course web. Hmm. What all others? Other famous things nowadays everywhere you people are hearing. Like these are the booming technologies nowadays everywhere. We are using these kind of technologies like that. Any other things you people are using or hearing?
app development.
Apps, mobile apps. Mobile apps only, right? You are talking about?
Yes.
Okay. Any other?
So cloud services we can use to
Yeah, cloud.
automate the script.
Yes, cloud basically. So apart from these, we have some desktop applications. Okay, first let's list out all these things. Later we'll talk about these things. So you have written web applications, desktop applications, and now gaming, automation. Hmm. You people heard about data science?
Yes,
Data science, artificial intelligence, machine learning, IoT. Correct?
yes,
These are kind of now booming everywhere. We are talking, we are hearing about these things, right? And maybe
yeah.
robotics. Okay, like this. So like this, we have plenty of applications are there in the software industry. So first, let's talk about each and everything. Say web applications. So web applications, nothing but what? So implementing websites. Correct. So nowadays website or web applications are so popular, right? So if you take some 20 years back or 10 years back, right, we do not have those many of websites. Nowadays not only companies, not only training institutes or colleges or educational institutes or hospitals, you take any kind of commercial organization, everyone is having their own website. Not only any organization, commercial organizations, so even nowadays, every individual also wanted to have their own website, maybe for blogging purpose or to just for passion, like okay, and on online business purpose, right? So websites are so much popular nowadays. And when we talk about DB, right? So actually, this DB is kind of common for each and every applications. Say for example, if you are using desktop web applications, we need DB to store our data, right? So and operating system applications, yes, operating system, we all know, right? So it's kind of a user interface to interact with your machine. Yes, operating system applications. So graphics, graphics also we know, right? So graphic is one of the other industry. APIs, so APIs means by using Python we use REST APIs or with the help of Django, which is used for web application. Here also we use some APIs to interact with your application, user to application interaction. Okay, so this is also not specific to any specialization or any application. So everywhere either we use web application or operating system or desktop applications, any applications we use, right? So those places we use APIs to interact. Yeah, mobile application we all know actually. So by using Python we do not develop web apps, sorry, mobile apps. So it doesn't mean that we can't develop, but we do not prefer to develop mobile applications with the help of Python. So about this, we will talk about this later when we are talking about disadvantages of Python. Okay, and also some cloud services. So nowadays, like you people are hearing, right? So Amazon Web Services and Azure. All those things. So those places also, like we need some programming language or some sort of programming language to write some scripts to make some of the things automated, right? So in cloud services and desktop applications, so desktop applications nothing but a application which can run on its own. Once you install it, it will run. Say for example this notepad itself, so once you install, it will start running. It does not have any dependency. Okay, those kind of applications we call it as desktop applications. Say notepad or PPT or Pavan, can you go on mute your yeah, thanks. So notepad or wordpad or PPT or calculator, all these applications we call it as desktop application. A application that can run on its own, means it does not require any dependency. Once you install it, you can start using it. And gaming industry also nowadays, it is very big industry, actually one of the popular industry nowadays. So all are now online games, right? So online games and there are plenty of gaming games are coming up, right? So now it is one of the biggest industry now, gaming. And automation, so automation in the sense, here two types of automations are there, like mechanical automation means you might have seen, like maybe we can say this is also robotics. So mechanical automation nothing but you might have seen in some of the YouTubes, like car manufacturing or mobile manufacturing or any other automotive manufacturing. So everywhere the robots will keep on assembling all the things, right? So any manufacturing industry, so we use robotics to pack it or to assemble it, right? So there also we use some kind of automation, or in other words it is robotics. And also another automation is software automation. Generally we use it for testing. So once you develop your software application, so we need to test it, right? So in every company we will be having two separate teams. One is development team, another is testing team. So developer will develop the develop the application, and testers will test your application. So before we used to have manual testers, but nowadays none of the company prefers manual testers. Everyone has to learn automation. If you have some manual testers also, companies are insisting them to learn automation. Okay, and this data science, artificial intelligence, machine learning, IoT, these all things comes under single umbrella, and I'll talk about these things in one of the session. Actually this is kind of very big topic. In one of the session, a separate session, we'll talk about all these things. So robotics, as I already said, so maybe it comes in automation. So if you see all these applications, right, all these applications are becoming popular nowadays only. Maybe we'll have some more applications like network applications. Network applications nothing but where we use client server based programming. So whatever the applications we are using on your mobile nowadays, most of them are network applications. Say Google or YouTube or Facebook or Instagram, Twitter, all these are network applications, means client server based programming. So whatever you are using on your mobiles are client. So if you are searching for something in YouTube, means what? So you are using a YouTube client. Whenever you set something, it will fetch the data from the server. Facebook also same, Instagram also same, Google also same, and any mobile banking applications also same. So most of the web applications are network applications only, or your mobile applications, all those are network applications. So all these applications are becoming popular nowadays only, right? So we do not have any Facebook or Google or Instagram or Twitter. These things are not getting used extensively in some 15 20 years back, correct? So if you see all these applications, for all these applications Python is best suitable programming language. For all these applications Python is best suitable programming language. So even though Python was developed, or Python is one of the oldest programming language, most of these applications are becoming so popular nowadays only. Either you take websites or data science or network applications like YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, all these things, or gaming, online gaming also nowadays only it is booming up, right? Nowadays only people are started using network online games like PUBG, or you may be knowing about this some rummy online gaming like rummy circle, all those things will be there, right? So for all these kind of applications, right, Python is best suitable programming language. So that is the reason, even though it is one of the oldest programming language, so we were not using that much extensively when it was invented. All these things are becoming popular nowadays, and Python became the best suitable programming language to develop all these applications. So that is the reason, even though it is oldest programming language, it is becoming so popular nowadays. Okay, and let's see. Let me share. So this is what all the applications we are talking about. Okay, we talked about all these things, right? Yes. And what are the features of Python, where and all we use, just now we have seen, and what are the features of Python. So why we need to learn Python, why people are using only Python when compared to other programming languages. So the main advantage of Python is it is very very simple and easy to learn. Simple in the sense it is easy to learn, easy to code, and also easy to read, also readability. So the readability is very very important. Okay, say let's see about this. Say for example, let's take some application. Say for example, you want to add some two numbers. Okay, so how we learn our mathematics, something like this, right? So equal to 10, some b equal to 20, and c equals to a plus b. Okay, so this is how we do addition of two numbers in our on our paper, right? Now let's take some C programming. How we write a programming, C programming, to add two numbers. So if you don't know anything about C programming language, that's fine, just to understand the difference between other programming languages and Python. Okay, so when we are using C programming, so we include some header files and all. Oh, sorry. Right, and after that, yeah, we include some other header files as well. So after that we start our programming with main, integer main, and so what are the variables we want to use? First we have to declare. So what is the type of variable you are using? That is the type you have to mention. So if you are using integer variable, you have to say integer. If you are using some floating point variable, then you have to say float. Some float b equals to some 20.5, something like that you have to declare. And also your result. So whenever we add a plus b here, 10 plus 25, integer and float means you will get a float as result, right? So float c equals to a plus b. As a programmer, you upfront you must know like what will be the type of your result, right? So after this, let's print this. Print. So in order to print, we use some format specifier. If you want to print a floating point, we use %f. If you want to print some integer, we use %d, like that. So %d some c, like this. Okay, so this is how a C programming looks like. And a guy who does not have any programming knowledge, okay, if that guy look at this program, so will he understand anything? Actually most of the things he may not be understanding. So what is this include, what is this hash include, stdio.h and all? So what is this int, what is this main, right? Why we are using these braces? So what is this int, what is this float, why are you using these semicolons and all these things? And what is this %f, and what is this print? It is actually printf, right? In C. Yeah, so a guy who does not have any programming background, if he look at this program, he may not be understanding what this program is doing. Okay, it is not easy to learn and it is not easy to write, and also readability also not good when we compare with Python. So same thing if you want to implement in Python, see here, this itself is a Python program. See how simple and how easy it is. See, this itself is a Python program. So no need to mention where my program is starting, no need to include so many header files and all, and no need of any syntax like opening your braces, closing your braces. Of course, Python is having its own syntax, we'll learn about it. Okay, and also no need to mention what kind of variable you are using here in other languages. So you have to convey to this compiler, here in this case C compiler, what kind of variable you are using. If you are using integer, you have to convey it as integer. If you are using float, you have to convey it as float. And also when I'm adding two numbers, what will be the result will be of floating type. Say if you declare it as integer, then also the problem, right? So it may give error or it may not give the expected result. So as a programmer, there are so many things you have to take care, right? Whereas in Python, see how simple it is easy to write, easy to learn, and also easy to read also. So a guy who does not have any programming background, if he know basic simple English and basic mathematics, he can understand what this program is doing. Got it? So this is what we call about Python is simple and easy to learn. Okay, next, Python is high level programming language, and also it is general purpose programming language. So what, when we call it as any programming language as general purpose programming, means we can use Python for any kind of application. So that is what just now we have seen. So you name any application, we use Python. So what any application we can develop with the help of Python. So that's why we call it as general purpose programming language. It is not restricted, or it is not used only in only one specific application, nothing like that. So that's why we call Python is general purpose programming language. And what is high level programming language? Generally we have high level programming, low level programming languages, and middle level programming languages we have, right? So any example for high level program, sorry, middle level programming language you might have heard in your first year academics, right? Middle level, high level programming languages, and low level programming languages. Hmm? So Python, we said it is high level. Middle level, C programming
C
is what?
language.
Yeah, it's a C is, we call it as middle level. Low level, any idea? Yes, low level programming languages,
The
assembly.
C++.
C++ comes here. Assembly language is low level, we call it as. You might have heard in your first year of academics, when your teacher is talking about C, right? At that time they might have told you. And also we use, you guys used any assembly? I do not think it is added in your academics. So what is the difference between low level, high level, and middle level? So low level programming language, nothing but this assembly language. You guys, have you ever saw the syntax of assembly language? Something like this it will be. So move a equals to, or even I forgot the syntax, some a comma some 10, something like that it will be there. So low level programming language means the programming language which directly talks to the CPU registers, directly talks to the computer CPU. So those kind of programming language, we call it as low level programming language. It will directly interact with the CPU. So when it is directly interacting with the CPU, right, so it will be very fast. So that kind of programming language we call it as low level. And what is middle level programming language? C and C++, we call it as middle level programming language. Middle level, nothing but, so we do not directly interact with the CPU registers or CPU, right? So it is kind of user friendly not like high level programming language. So some of the things we convey, some of the things as a programmer we will write, some of the things your programming language will take. Say for example, this variable, what is the type of this variable? As a programmer you have to tell. So once you say integer, so the C compiler will allocate some memory and it will be stored into that particular memory. That means here we are not directly dealing with the CPU. So C compiler will be there in between. And what and all things will be there when we talk about middle level or C programming language? First we write our program, and after that we compile our program. And once we compile, it will be generated, some .exe file will be generated, that file we run, right? So once you write your C programming, then we compile this. There is in the middle we have something called C compiler, right? So as a programmer you have to convey what kind of variables you are using. Once you say some this variable is of type integer, then it will allocate some memory, and in that memory this will be stored. And say you have declared this as integer, but you added this as some floating point variable, then what will happen? This compilation stage you will get error, right? So some of the things compiler is doing, some of the things as a programmer you people are doing. So this kind of very programming language we call it as middle level. And when it comes to high level programming language, if you see this, you as a programmer you are not doing most of the things, you are just writing a logic. See here, you are not conveying where is my program starting and what kind of variable it is and where to store. All those things you people are, we as a programmer we are not doing. So this kind of programming language we call it as high level programming language. High level means, in another words, we can say it is programmer friendly, but not machine friendly. Why we say it is not machine friendly? Why we say it is programmer friendly? Because for programmer it is easy to write, no need to learn so much of syntax. Why it is not machine friendly? Because the machine has to do so many things. First thing what it has to do, first it has to evaluate what kind of variable it is. So first it will evaluate this as integer, then it will store into the memory. Here also again it will evaluate what is the type of variable and all, then it will store, right? So high level programming languages are programmer friendly but not machine friendly. When you take assembly, so it is not programmer friendly because we need to learn so much of syntax and all, right? And it is machine friendly because directly we are talking here with the machine only, CPU itself, right? So what do you think now, which programming languages are faster execution, which are having faster execution? So high level programming languages or low level programming languages, which will be very faster? Yes, high level or low level? Hmm? Yes, Pawan, you are saying something.
High level is faster than the low level.
Mm-hmm. No, right? Always the low level programming languages execution is very faster. Why high level programming languages are not faster? So this is how we write, and there are so many other things need to be taken care before it is running. What and all things? For example, here it has to evaluate what is the type of variable, and also it has to check is there any syntax error or not, is there any other errors or not. After evaluating this, then only it will execute, then only it will store, right? So high level programming languages are machine friendly, not machine friendly, those are programmer friendly, right? So Python is high level programming language when compared to other programming languages like assembly or C. It is bit slower, it's not very fast in execution. But now the availability of powerful machines, powerful processors, powerful RAM, right? So it may not be a disadvantage. Okay, next thing is Python is free and open source. Any idea what is freeware and what is open source? So if you are in software industry, you must know about these two things. Nowadays, most of the projects are open source projects. Yes, any idea what is freeware and what is open source? Most of the people think that both are same, but actually not.
We can be install and run any on any system,
Mm-hmm.
operating system,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, others.
and we can also develop another
Yeah, correct. Whatever you are saying, those points are correct, but not related to free and open source.
okay.
Okay. See, freeware means no need to pay anything to anyone. It is completely free of cost. Anyone can use it. Say if you take like Java or .NET, right? Those are commercial programming languages. So if you want to use it, you have to buy the license. But in order to use Python, right? It is completely free. No need to pay anything to anyone. But if you wish to donate, you can donate. Definitely you can donate money or any other thing also, like either you can donate in monetary wise, or you can contribute to Python by writing some programming, or by taking some of the features, or by fixing some of the bugs. Okay, so Python is completely free. This is one of the reason why it is becoming so popular. Okay, and next, open source. Open source nothing but even the source code of Python also available to public. We can download the source code also. Say for example, if you take, I'm using Windows operating system, so Windows operating system source code is not available, so we have to buy it and we have to install it. Once you install, you cannot do any modifications to the commercial or licensed based softwares. So if you want to buy it, just buy it and use it. You can't do any kind of modifications, right? So when it is open source project, once the source code is available, right, basically you customize your own version of Python or any other open source project. As the source code is available, once you download the source code, right, you can add any new features to that, or you can, some of the features you doesn't need, then remove those features, or you need some other features, add those features, or you can modify the existing behavior also. Say existing behavior nothing but, say for example, when I say place, right, what will happen? It will add two numbers. So what we'll do is, as the source code is available, when I use a plus b, instead of adding two numbers, I'll multiply it. No one will do that, but you can do it because as the source code also available. So this is very important thing. So this is the reason, this is most important reason why Python is becoming popular. Open source means even the source code also available. You can download it. Basically, you can customize it. You can add some new features or you can delete some of the features. Basically, you can customize. Say if you take Windows operating system, right? You can't do any changes to that. Whatever the features they are giving, those features only you have to use it. You can't modify the features or you can't delete the features. Correct? But it is not the case with open source projects. So Linux is open source, means the Linux operating system, the source code also available. So when the source code is available, you can do any changes. You can basically customize your version. Got it? So that is what freeware and open source. No need to buy anything, no need to pay anything to anyone, and also source code also available. And other thing is, it is platform independent. Platform independent. So what is the meaning of platform independent? So what are the available platforms you have here? In this case, platform nothing but operating system. Okay, so what are all platforms you have? Windows. Any other platforms? Linux.
Linux,
Hmm. Any other?
MacBook.
Mac,
Mac.
OS,
Which OS? Mac. All these are OS only, right? Yeah. Some IBM is having its own operating system. There are so plenty of operating systems are available, but what are the famous? These three things: Windows, Linux, and Mac. So Mac means who is Apple uses Mac operating system, correct? So what is platform independent? So platform independent means, say, okay, so this is your C or Python program, and say this is Windows, this is Linux, this is Mac. Okay. Pavan, can you please share your details with the admin? They're trying to reach you over message. This is Python program and say this is
Sure,
Windows
sir. I will
operating
be seeing.
system.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is Linux operating system. This is Mac. Okay, so when we say platform independent, right? So the program, whatever you are writing, it can run directly on Windows machine or Linux machine or Mac machine or any other operating system. But say for example, you are taking C programming language. C is not platform independent, it is platform dependent. Once you write your C program, right? So if you are writing C program for Windows, it will run on Windows only. If you try to run that program which is written on Windows, it may not run on Linux. If it is running also, it may not give expected result. Simple example is, if you take this C programming language, so the size of integer in Windows is some 2 bytes. The size of integer in Linux is 4 bytes. That means it is C programming or C++ is platform dependent programming languages. Once you write your program on one operating system, same program you can't run on another operating system. If it is running also, it may not give expected results. So this is what we call it as platform dependent and independent. Whereas Python is what? Python is platform independent. So as a programmer, you no need to worry like in which platform you people are going to run. But if you're writing C or C++ application, definitely you need to know on which platform you're writing. So we need to take care so many things. So if you want to run your program, C programming language on all the platform means, so you have to write some extra code. Like say if it is Windows, execute this. If it is Linux, execute this portion. If it is Mac, execute this portion of code. Like that, we have to add some conditional compilation for platform dependent programming languages. So whereas for Python, it is completely independent of any operating system. As a programmer, you no need to worry about on which platform you are running your program. So this is another biggest advantage of Python. Okay, and also it is portable. Portable means what? Moving from one place to another place. Say you have written your Python program on Windows. Tomorrow your company don't want to use Windows operating system, they want to use Linux operating system. So simply they can directly move the all the project to Linux without doing any changes to your code, because it is platform independent. So Python is portable because it is platform independent, right? Another important thing is it is dynamically typed programming language. So what is the meaning of dynamically typed? So we have two different type of programming languages. One is statically typed, another is dynamically typed. So statically typed means, here if we take C programming language, right, this is statically typed. Means as a programmer you have to convey what kind of variable you are using. So if you are using integer, you have to tell integer. If you are using float, you have to tell float. But Python is what? Dynamically typed programming language. So if you are assigned integer, then this a will be assigned, a will be treated as integer. If you are assigning some floating point variable, then this b will be treated as float, right? So this is what we call it as dynamically typed programming language. Got it? Any questions as of now? Following everyone?
So,
Okay, yeah. So as this is just a demo, I want to stop here now. Open to questions. If you have any questions, please ask. Yes, any questions, concerns, or any other thing?
No, how long the program will last?
How long the program?
Will last. Whether it could be on a 45 days or 2 months.
Okay, course duration. So course duration will be somewhere
Yeah,
around 2.5 months. Every day it will be only 1 hour, only
two
weekdays
and a half
Monday to
months.
Friday. Yeah, 2.5 months approx. Okay, so Monday to
And
Friday.
Okay. Only Monday
Yeah,
to
sir,
Friday.
what
Okay.
yeah, yeah. Only 1 hour
okay,
per day.
what will be a level of the course? It will be a basic to moderate or advanced.
No, basic to advanced only. So basic in the sense it is like this course is designed in such a way that by considering the student will not have any kind of programming background, any technical background. Okay, so
Okay.
for each and
Actually, I am
every,
a student of commerce. Uh, re-
yes,
I am
yes,
interested to learn. Python.
yeah. So in almost every batch, I'll be having one or two people at least. So from non-technical background or non-programming background. So from mechanical, from medical industry, and from commerce, and from BCom. Sorry,
So what will
some
be
other
the limit of the class? How many student will be
limit
in
of,
class? Class.
it
How
will
many
be
student
always
will
less
be?
than 10. It will be
Okay,
always less
okay.
than 10, not more than 10. Yeah,
So you can put attention on individually if the
of
student
course,
will be
yes,
a.
correct. Yeah, we'll not be having any time more than 10. Okay. Yeah. Any other questions?
What will be a fees structure? Please
Yeah,
discuss.
fee structure and the timings admin people will tell you. You can talk to them. So technically, if you have any questions, you can ask here.
We will learn only a Python or other tools also in this
Yeah,
course.
so this course is actually Python plus Django. So Django is a web application framework. So with the help of Django, you can develop websites.
Okay, Wambo required in data scientist course or
If you want to go towards data science, once after you learn Python, you can choose different other thing. So this is not data science course.
okay, okay.
Yeah. Any other questions? Okay. Yeah. If you do not have any question, that's all from my side. If you have any, if you come across or if you have any questions, you can talk to admin. They'll connect with me. Okay. So about fee structure and all, you can talk to them, or any other technical things, you can talk to me. Okay. Pawan, please share your details. Okay. Yeah. Thanks everyone. Bye for today.